An independent medical expert has assessed that too long a time was taken to evacuate a full-time NS-man who died of heat stroke 2 years ago. He says a fast evacuation within a 15-minute window would have been reasonable. It's also been revealed that the supervising officer had breached several safety protocols. Deborah Wong reports.
More than 2 years after Corporal First Class Dave Lee died, a coroner's inquiry was held in open court. Now, medical expert Dr. Kenneth Hing was called to the stand. He said that in cases of heat stroke, the priority is to reduce the temperature below 39 degrees Celsius within 30 minutes. As there were limited things that could have been done on site after CFC Lee collapsed, Dr. Hing said a fast evacuation with a reasonable delay of up to 15 minutes should have been done. Now, CFC Lee was only evacuated after 40 minutes.
Elaborating, Dr. Hing explains that fast evacuation to the medical centre would have allowed CFC Lee to get treated, for example, with an IV drip to correct his blood pressure. Dr. Hing says this is crucial as the delay had allowed for continual high temperature to set in, which worsened his condition and made it difficult to reverse. Dr. Hing adds that while CFC Lee was given the appropriate treatment in the evacuation centre and later at Changi General Hospital, he shouldn't have been covered with a ground sheet on site. CFC Lee's family who were present did not ask questions, but say they simply want closure.
I seriously totally don't understand why. I don't understand why. I mean, the first reaction to an officer is when the boy is not feeling well, is already in that state, quickly send him to the medical center, what's wrong with it? So I also don't understand, but it seems that we have to put a full stop to the case.
Also taking the stand, a senior investigation officer from the police, who says no foul play has been determined. His report details how Supervising Officer Captain Tan Bao Shu, who was in charge of the fast march, repeatedly rejected calls to evacuate CFC Lee immediately. At the time, Captain Tan had assessed that CFC Lee was suffering from physical exhaustion, not heat stroke. Multiple breaches of protocol have also come to light, including Captain Tan rejecting an IV drip for CFC Lee, even though he couldn't drink water, and his dismissal of the safety vehicle.
In cases involving deaths of servicemen, parallel investigations are typically conducted. The cases can be heard in both civilian and military court. The coroner will present its report on 27 January next.
Now, after the conclusion of the inquiry, a committee of inquiry set up by the Defence Ministry to look into CFC Lee's death will submit its full report. It had a 2018 issued a preliminary report which stated that inadequate casualty management and delayed evacuation contributed to CFC Lee succumbing to heat stroke and his eventual death. Well, that same year, Captain Tan was charged in civilian court. He was later granted a discharge not amounting to an acquittal when he was diagnosed with stage 4 cancer. Captain Tan died last February. Separately, 6 other servicemen were fined in military court last September.